Welcome to another broadcast of The Competitive Edge. Today, we're going to be looking at what it takes to build a strong brand. So, we're going to be giving a lot of nuggets today. So, if you're a rising star in business and you really want to understand a step by step approach to start your brand, to scale your brand, to design your brand to make impact with the ideal client, some of what we're going to be going into today is going to really help you to get a proper perspective on what building a strong brand entails. And I do believe that this conversation is necessary because very often you start your business, but then you don't ever really focus on your branding. Your business needs a personality, and that's all that we're going to be going into. So, as usual, if you're in business, you should be liking, subscribing to this program. Now, if you have family and friends, your community that may need to have this type of information, I do encourage you to share this information. So you will help us to reach more people, and you will be doing a service to those people in your community. You're pushing us out into those environments so those community will become more familiar with what we are doing, and they can also benefit from what we are doing. Today in studio, I have three dynamic personalities here with me. I have Frank and Clement Frank. He is an economist by profession, but he's also a John Maxwell specialist. I also have Peter, and Peter, he is the brain behind Legacy Chronicle. He is also the kind of person I would always say to you, in life, you need a master plan. And above saying that you need a master plan, he's the kind of person that works with you to ensure that you have that master plan. Along with this, I have my other colleague, and he is Paul Whitehouse from the Patriot Business Finance Consultants. And he's the guy that likes to say, "You are approved. What are you approved for? Money, money, money." All right. So if you have a business and you need access to capital to grow and scale your business, Paul Whitehouse is the ideal person for you to be thinking about. Hey guys, welcome to today's program. It's a pleasure to have you guys in the house. Today we're going to be talking about branding, branding, and branding, how to build a strong brand. And I'm happy to have you guys share with me and the audience, your own perspective on branding. You all come from different fields. We have an economist, we have someone specialized in leadership, we have Paul, you specialize in finance, we have Peter, he specializes in human research development. It's such a pleasure to have all of you guys here today. Now, what I want to do just before I open up the conversation, I want to say first that this program comes to you with a kind compliments of BSP. In the case you're wondering what BSP represents, is the bestseller portal. All right. So a lot of the topics that we discuss, if you go to when you go to the bestseller portal, you will be able to find books, and more books on a lot of the topics that we are discussing. So do take the time and go to the bestseller portal to learn and get some of those books. You can also get greetings cards and so much more. So take some time and go look at that website. In getting today's program started, there's a couple of things that I want to say to just lay that foundation for the audience to understand how to build a strong brand. Now, first of all, strong brands are built, or strong brands are built to add value and to fix problems. All right, I want you to get this clear. Strong brands are built to add value and to fix problems. But that is only the beginning. Because in building a brand from the get go, you want to ask yourself, whose problems am I fixing? And to answer this question, whose problems am I fixing, is vital, because in building a brand, there's three type of brands that we were introduced to many years ago when I was doing my undergraduate studies. In building a brand, you're either building a premium brand, you're building a supplementary brand, or you're building a complementary brand. So when you begin now to set out to build a brand, you want to ask yourself, whose problems am I fixing? And to whom am I adding value? And when you are now able to answer these questions, you can now make a predeterminance in terms of who is your ideal client and who that brand is being built for. Because not every brand is a premium brand. All right. For example, a Mercedes Benz or an Infinity is not built for the average consumers. Why? Because there is a price gap there. It's very expensive product, and the average consumer would not be able to invest in that. If even they could, there are going to be many reasons why they're going to think about it. On the other side, the high income workers, earners, they're going to buy that with a smile on their face because they have that type of disposable income to invest in. So I just want to lay this foundation. I'm dropping some nuggets here, and this is only a high level overview. As time progresses, I will go deeper and deeper into this program. And I want to again encourage you to follow me on across social media, because most of these programs I'm not able to go deep into it. But when I'm off these programs, I spend time looking at them in a more clinical way to ensure that you, the audience, you have the kind of information so that can help you make better business and life decisions. So I'm going to pause here for now. Um, I want to now come to Paul. Paul is the financial expert, and what we do here, we provide capital to businesses. So, Paul, I want you to just spend some time talking to us about financial portfolio before you give your thoughts on the topic of the day. So, just help the audience to understand that, hey, if you're in 50 states in the US and you need access to capital to grow and scale your business, we can help you. Paul, all to you.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Good morning, everybody. My name's Paul. I'm one of two owners of Patriot Business Finance Consultants, and it's really very short, sweet, and simple. We have access to hundreds of lenders, and all of our lenders, they want to work with you and they want to say yes. So, what do they want to say yes to? They want to say yes to financing equipment for your business through equipment leasing. They want to say yes to factoring your deals and buying your accounts receivable at a discount to provide cash flow for your business if cash flow is slow because your business is outgrowing just if you're selling products and delivering services too fast and you're waiting to get paid from all of your customers, but you still gotta buy raw materials and provide support for your other customers.
Demand is higher than supply.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Yeah.
outgrow your cash flow. That's a very good problem, but you still have to do something about it. Okay. Commercial and investment property real estate financing. Got you covered. Want to provide it for you. Can provide it for you under the best terms and deal structure and lowest cost of money. We make it happen the best. We make it happen better than banks, and I can prove it to you. So we're on your side, and everybody needs somebody on their side. So if you want to work with us, Paul at patriotbfc.com, email me, DM Gary at the same time. We're both on the same team trying to deliver excellent services to you.
Yes, Paul. Thanks for that share.
Welcome.
Um, Now, having said that, Paul, um, I want you to talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on the importance of branding, what it takes to build a strong brand. I know earlier we were talking about, the Japanese manufacturer that made it big in the US. I don't know if you want to start there, but I would love to have your thoughts on the importance of building and having a strong brand. All
Okay,
to you, Paul.
thank you. Well, I mean, it's very obvious what we're talking about, but it's not so obvious that we don't have to talk about it. And I'm glad we're all put together, to do that, to bring attention to it. You have to stand out. If you don't, they're just going to keep on scrolling or flipping and pick whoever does jump out at them, whoever has branded themselves successfully. If you haven't, you might get picked, but you're gonna be like that kid getting picked last for the softball team or the football team. Be waiting in the corner with your hand up, hoping you're next, but you're not. You're last. So in order to get that revenue and have a successful business, you need to have every single angle covered, and you have to be branded, and you have to market. Um, I just, as I was thinking about our conversation, just examples, the prime example, at least to me, flew out is Honda is the most non-American brand that that is American. Is it really American? They're headquartered in Japan, of course. Of course, they manufacture in America. They manufacture cars, they manufacture their power sports, their side-by-sides, their four-wheelers. They do build them in America, but does that make them an American brand? I don't think so. I mean, Nissan does it. Nissan builds in America. Are they looked at as an American brand? No. But let me tell you why Honda is. It just happened that way. I don't know if they were even trying to do it, but all of us I ride dirt bikes. I've ridden since I was a kid, and almost everybody that I know has had a Honda at one point in their life. I've had all the manufacturers, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki. I've had all of those dirt bikes, but everybody's had a Honda, and Honda's paint scheme has always had some combination of red, white, and blue. I don't know if that was on purpose. I guess maybe it seems like it is. But they're
Yes,
just
brand, the
yeah,
American brand.
yeah. In my opinion, they are the most American motorcycle manufacturer than there is. They're equal to Harley Davidson. Everybody says Harley Davidson, go America. Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm with that too. I'm with it. But Honda seems to have rivaled Harley Davidson as an American brand because they were either, inexpensive. Everybody, adults were buying Hondas. Honda came to America in the 1950s with gas-powered motorcycles or bicycles. They turned into mopeds, they turned into motorcycles, and it went from there. Okay. But uh, lots of adults bought them, but lots of adults bought them for their kids also. And it's just kind of like an American memory riding your little Honda motorcycle with your dad and learning to ride. So I just think I don't know if they did it on purpose, you guys. I really don't. But it certainly developed into that. The red, white, and blue paint scheme. I mean, the Honda wing with the red, white, and blue. When you look at it, even today when I look at it, it reminds me of when I was a kid. It makes me want to go back there again and have some fun. So,
Okay. Um, as we look at the history of cars, I mean, I could recall when Ford first started to manufacture cars way back in the days. They were only producing cars for the elite because the average man, the cost to produce one car, the time to produce one car, it was pretty expensive. So they were forced to simply produce for the elite. And there comes specialization in the manufacturing process. And with specialization and standardization, they were able to fast track production. And with that being done, they were able to reduce the cost of production. And here is where, they start to produce cars, not just premium brands, but also like Honda. Honda is, we wouldn't say Honda is a premium brand, but it is a brand for the common man, and it still serves a purpose. So I think that with Honda, that they were able to build that brand and stand out, not only in America, they were able to build that brand and stand out across the world.
Mm.
And I think it was a clever move because, sometimes you build a brand and you just focus on premium brand, but the premium brands buyers are always in a minority, all right, because this is the wealthiest of the wealthiest, but they have money to spend, so you're going to make money here. But when you understand the other area of branding, and you know what you're doing, you could make a whole lot of monies there. That brings me to another a short point I'm going to make here. I talked earlier on that strong brands add value and fix problems. And from the get go, you want to ask yourself, whose problems am I fixing, and to whom I'm adding value and I'm fixing problems. That now brings you to the point where I say that to add value and fix problems, you must take the time to know your client or your potential client. And I'm saying that if you're not doing this, you may have a major problem with your business model. You really want to take the time to understand who you're serving. And perhaps in Honda case, they recognize that, hey, based on demographics, people, income earning potential, uh, you know, people comfort level and people psychographics and all of those factors, you will say, hey, let's build this brand. Let's capitalize on this, hundreds of millions of people who are here. And, let's go to market this way. And they did a pretty good job at that. So I love the Honda example um, as a way of entering the market. It's not necessarily a premium brand, but it is a brand. It is a brand that has made millions and perhaps billions of dollars for that company because of the strategy that they have used to innovate that product. And if you study Honda over the few years, it was a simple design. In today's Honda, they have brought so much more aesthetics and ambience to it that when you're sitting in a Honda user, you feel as though you're in a Mercedes Benz, in some cases, right? So they have upgraded. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh,
I,
I can wait. I'll wait till you're done. I just want to throw something in.
Uh, Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Peter. I'll just throw this in here real quick. Um, I don't know if Honda did it on purpose, but like I said, the color, the paint scheme, red, white, and blue. Suzuki was yellow and blue. Kawasaki, green. Yamaha, black and yellow, and they turned to white and red and then blue. But Honda was red, white, and blue, and that just stuck. It stuck in my head. So
Well, you see, in Brandon, no color appears because it just appear. They were making a statement. They were saying that we are more American than you. They were carrying the flags, they were carrying the symbols of the flag. And that was making a very strong statement. It was
yeah,
making a very strong statement. They had wanted in. And you see, what I like about that, what you're saying, Paul, in building a brand, remember that brand may go across geography. And these are it's so important to think about all of these different things. You're going to find Honda China, Honda Bangladesh. They may have different color symbols, but to get buy-in that geographic space that you're in, Sometimes it requires adjusting. And this is where we talk about being market oriented, market sensitive, and market responsive. The objective of building that brand is to optimize sales. To optimize sales, you need to understand the people, their culture, their lifestyle. And my God, Honda being a non American company, carrying the flags in their branding scheme, it's a statement. It's intentional. So I love that you would have bring out all of that. And that's a strong identification with America.
Mhm.
So the consumers feel now comfortable. It's America. I can buy this. Clever move. All right. I want to come to Frank to share your thoughts on the the topic itself. I know you have spent years as an economist, but more so as a John Maxwell specialist. I know you like to fly that flag a whole lot. Um, I would love to hear from you, my friend.
I'm happy you raised John Maxwell because that's a brand itself that's international. Wherever
It
you
is.
go, there's a John Maxwell. One of the things that he spoke about with the CEO and brand leadership, the question was asked, how does your leadership impact your brand? We know, Gary, that branding is a dominant decider for competing successfully in today's business world. So organizations that have strongest brands are able to achieve far greater market shares. They're able to achieve higher profits, long-term viability, and they're sustainable. You see, while most companies focus their branding efforts on marketing, platform, and brand collateral, a lot of companies neglect one of the most important drivers of a brand, which is the chief executive officer or managing director's brand leadership, especially in a small, medium, or large business. We call it SMEs. The company leader is the single most powerful influencer on branding, the visionary behind the brand. So, downplaying or ignoring your role as a leader in shaping your company's brand will often weaken your potential success, dilutes the potential impact of your brand. On the other hand, if you embrace your brand potential as leader and visionary behind your brand, it provides the additional direction, provides focus that is needed to help your brand grow and flourish. I have worked with some SME owner managers and helped them by adding distinction, structure, substance, and more compelling meaning from a customer's perspective to their vision of the brand. This is a key part of our work and ultimately critical to our clients' brand success and the work we do in supporting them in their businesses. And do you know that strong leadership has a powerful brand influence? Because a business brand is so much more than a name, it's so much more than a logo. It's a total brand experience package from the customer first, that interacts with anyone that represents your brand. And this could be an employee, a referral or a conversation about the business, an article in the media, um, a person or an indirect affiliation which represents your business. Every piece of brand collateral, from your business card to your website, product packaging, the look of your retail location, or even the business interior, every visual representation across all customer touch points. And what's more, your brand encompasses all the intangible aspects of your business. It's reflected in your employees' behavior, your customer service, your pricing policies, the internal culture of your organization, and your total customer experience that's offered. All of these elements together will shape customer perceptions of a brand. In an SME business, the leader has a final say on every ingredient that goes into creating, that goes into developing, goes into directing, growing and maintaining the brand. So each decision you make has a potential impact to your brand, whether better or worse. And branding begins from the inside out. As a leader, you set the tone that resonates through your company and extends to your customer facing brand experience, all of which is critical to your business survival, growing profitably, and long term success. And one of the most familiar examples of this concept in action exists in chains and franchises. For instance, most people have been to more than one McDonald's, Starbucks, KFC, and I probably noticed that while they are the same stores selling the same products in the same way, they can be quite different in the brand experience. One location may be clean and well lit with a fast and friendly service, while another may be unkempt and slow with terrible service and miserable employees. This sometimes striking difference is a result of indifferent leadership, typically the store manager or the franchise owner. If the leader of a franchise store is disengaged and out of touch, the brand suffers even with the backing of a national or global brand name behind it. KFC, prior to the current franchise owner, when it started, was a different owner. After the time it flopped, he lost the franchise because of the kind of service that was being given. And so, as a leader, one has got to be extremely careful in how they influence and shape their brand. Right? The leader who pays little or no attention to their influence on the branding will carry a company's brand and drive it with incredible success. Having a strong brand vision as a leader creates a powerful ripple effect that starts with the internal company culture and extends into customer interactions and overall brand perceptions. Apple CEO Steve Jobs is well known example of this. The brand floundered and nearly went into bankruptcy when Jobs left in 1985, but it bounced back stronger than ever with his return in 1997. And you have others like Phil Knight, co-founder of Knight, Richard Branson, and the list continues.
Wow, that was a whole lot. And I really love how you dig into it and you really help the audience to understand, what a brand really is and how brand may differ, although it's the same franchise, different owners, how your brand experience is going to be different based on the leadership culture, the leadership style and culture of that particular organization. And as you were talking, I was just looking at, you know, um, personal branding versus corporate branding. And, while you're perfectly correct when we say that, the corporate brand is all encompassing. Um, every pin and atom within that or business should be a reflection of the brand. Unfortunately, when we look at many companies, it leaves so much more to be desired. And here is where when you have strong leadership style, strong personal brand, come into that organization, they tend to redesign and reconstruct to move that organization in the right way. So there's a whole lot for us to unpack here, but I really love what you would have said, and kudos to you, my friend. Peter, I want to come across to you. You have been interfacing with, many small and micro entrepreneurs. You have been doing your work to really help they themselves to build a strong brand. Um, what do you think? Can you walk us through perhaps some of those experience or share an area that you think is relevant? All to you, Peter.
Yeah, good to be here and just what we discover are hurdles. Individual coming in the marketplace, a micro individual or a small individual coming into the marketplace, there are certain hurdles as they're developing their brand. How do they get over the three major hurdles of to become known, how to become liked, and how to be trusted? And what we discover there is the ladder. I learned in our research is that there is certain ladder. There's a particular ladder that they can actually use to accelerate their process to become liked, known, and trusted. And we do recognize that every individual, there is about 5 different levels that they have to travel through where they are seen in the market and become, almost well recognized and to be trusted. And we have seen these things happen so often. Let me just give you an example of the process that we're talking about. When we say Oprah, we understand that Oprah is a well recognized field in the marketplace. But then what Oprah did in one of her guests, she brought on Dr. Phil. And immediately, Dr. Phil became a sensation until eventually he has his own show. Dr. Phil, nobody knew who Dr. Phil was before Oprah. And then through Oprah's process, he became instant celebrity. So what we do find is that individuals who are coming in the marketplace, developing their brands, there are certain a channel that they have to walk through. Most, they start out as generalists and they have to move into become known as for what they specialize in. They have to be recognized as for their area of certification, and they have to build what we call their level of authorization. And in that, they can, when they are aligned in a certain respect, they can be celebrated as a celebrity. So what we do recognize in that is that there are certain things that an individual can do to get over those hurdles. So what we do in our area of helping individuals to build out their master plan, to understand, okay, these are the hurdles that are in front for us to cross over, and how are we going to get there? And what we do in designing our individuals who are just coming into the marketplace, we says, okay, then there are certain things that you've got to do. And one of those things as you get out is we help individuals to design a process or their publication. And in that, we recognize individuals, let's put you on a magazine cover. Let's design for you a magazine. You publish your own magazine or newsletter. And what we recognize is that individuals, as they are placed, when your face is on a magazine, immediately individuals see you as a level of giving some level of authority. You must have a reason why an individual's face is on the magazine. We recognize this through what we see Oprah. I remember my wife, she got Oprah, well, recruited or allowed, she connected with Oprah's magazine. And every month, Oprah sent a magazine to her. And every month, the only person that was on the old magazine was Oprah. And Oprah recognized that by putting herself on the face of a magazine and send it into people's homes, she kept herself relevant. And that is one of the things that we help individuals to understand. Put your face on your own magazine. It will reinforce your brand. It will reinforce what your message is. It will cause people to recognize that you have something to say, and it will penetrate the market, that people will recognize you. And so what we find is that one process has helped individuals who are small persons, just an individual, by helping them to categorize themselves and package their idea in a magazine or a newsletter, it has helped individuals to cross the hurdles that they face.
All right. Thanks for that share, Peter. I like the example of Oprah. She came through the rank, and she became an influencer. And because she became an influencer, she was able to help hundreds, if not thousands, of persons get their strong brand into the public domain. So, I think having a strong brand has so many advantage to you. It can set the stage for you to have multiple streams of income. But we're going to talk about that at a later date. What I want to spend some time doing is us to recap some of what I would have said, but I want to quickly go through 5 important concepts that you want to consider when you're attempting to build a strong brand. The very first thing that I said in starting this program is that strong brands add value and fix problems. So if you're a rising star in business, or even if you're in business already, and you're thinking of ways of reinventing with more market relevance, you want to focus on how you're going to add value, how you're going to fix problems. To be able to do that effectively, to add value and fix problems effectively, it's important for you to also recognize that you need to know your client or potential client. You can't be guessing about this. You want to spend as much time as possible, understanding people. You must collect sensitive data. To understand people, you have to collect sensitive data about people. You have to analyze that data, and then you have to now use that data. In the simplest of terms, the more you understand people, the better able you are to innovate products and services that reaches their expectation. And that's what makes you sensitive. People's need may change based on a number of personal social realities. You need to be aware of that, and you need to mitigate data in that regards also. The fourth concept I want to say is that by collecting, analyzing, mitigating data, this is the only way to become market oriented, to become market sensitive, and to become market responsive. It's the only way. You see, doing business is not about emotion. Doing business and wanting to be successful, you need to have the right information so you can conduct yourself in a market-oriented fashion and a market-sensitive fashion. And it's only based on having these two things you can then be responsive. There's some people that are responsive to market based on speculation. You want to respond to specific pain points, specific needs in the market, and only data can take you there. The last point that I want to make here, or the fourth point I want to make here, by being responsive again, oriented, sensitive, and responsive, this is the only way to align products and services to market needs. You don't want to innovate a product and then it doesn't reach the expectations of your perceived ideal client. And this happened a lot. Very often, a rising star starts a business, and you assume, because you're using speculative data, that this brand, this product, this service is for these people. That's not how. That's putting the cart in front of the horse. The horse must always be in front of the cart because the horse is going to be moving that cart forward. But when you don't have information and you don't have that data and you're using speculation, you're swimming in speculation, and the business doesn't go the way you want it to go, you blame everyone else except yourself. You made an emotional business decision. And as I would say, emotion in this context has absolutely no room, no space, no relevance in business. You need data. Now I'm going to say the last point here. You may go through everything that I've talked about early on in terms of building a strong brand. Because guess what? Sometimes strong brand can fail. And why that strong brand is going to fail? Because many of the rising star in business didn't have someone like Paul on their side that can help them to understand money. All right. Businesses fail because you run out of cash. And the last point here is where I'm going to reinforce that point. There must be budgetary allocation for research, brand innovation, marketing, public relation, and sales. And I repeat this: there must be, budgetary allocation for research. Everything I've talked about, collecting sensitive data, analyzing sensitive data, responding to sensitive data, is the research. There must be a budget for that. Research is not necessarily going to come at no cost. There's a cost of doing business. And when you're attempting to build a brand to impact the lives of people, you have to research the people. All right. So before you come to innovate in a brand, you want to research who is your ideal buyers. You want to perhaps ensure that you have some guarantee buyers on board, so that business is going to cash flow even before the product is completed. Then guess what is the next thing? Marketing. Marketing. Do you have an advertising budget to produce ads, for radio, television, newspaper, the metaverse, and perhaps independent communication outlet? Is there a budgetary allocation for that? Again, you're going to fail. You have a strong brand now. You understand people need, and this happened a lot. Many rising stars may see gap in the market. They may see opportunity in the market. They know the market. They research the market. They interface with the market. But guess what? They don't have the disposable income to go at it. There's no budgetary allocation for that. So an opportunity just slips through your finger because you didn't make budgetary allocation for, these opportunities that research is going to help you to find. So there need to be that budgetary allocation for marketing, for public relation, and for sale. As I said, I know that I can't get into everything today. I haven't even started to scratch the surface of what I want to say, but I'm going to pause here. You need to have a budget for this. And this is why I think is Frank or Paul or Peter would have said you need to, in doing a business, think about a team, either internal or external team. You need a good team player that's going to help you to quickly access capital. All right. And that's why in our ecosystem, we have a very dynamic team, not just for us, but to help you. So you might be in business, you want to innovate a new brand, you see an opportunity, you want to go at it. You have people like Paul that's going to help you to access capital. So I'm going to come right back to Paul now to ask him to chime in a bit on the financial instruments. It may not be specific to research and brand innovation, marketing, public relation, or sale, but it may be capital for the overall management of that company, and then they could make specific budgetary allocation for that. Can you talk to us a little bit about financial instruments? I just want the public to know that money is not a problem. We got you. All right, in the Caribbean, where we say we got your back there, we got you. Paul, all to you.
Well, you ended it like I was going to start it off and fire it up. We got you. It's available. Don't worry. How is it available? It's available because the lenders want to put it out there. You don't got a bunch of people, lenders sitting there saying, how can we say no and keep the money on the shelves? You don't have that. You got them out there saying, how can we put it into the pockets of business owners and make it work? Because money is inventory. They need to get it off the shelves. It's that simple. That's what they profit off of. The grocery store profits off of selling you milk, eggs, and canned goods and bread and stuff. They make profit off of that. Lenders make money. They make their profit. And you need profit to continue. So they need to do it. They cannot not do it. I don't want to stress, I can't stress this enough. They want it out there. So how's it available? It's available through equipment financing. And now if you're talking about needing cash in order to promote marketing, budgeting, or marketing and branding, How would we get that for you? Couple of ways. I mean, there are some SBA loans for working capital. Then you could use that how you want to. If you got assets that you own free, typically the marketing and branding budget really has to come from the pocket. Okay. You can finance equipment, it's an asset. You can finance real estate, it's an asset. Unsecured cash is not an asset. Branding is not an asset, but you need to pull it off. So typically that's coming out of pocket. Okay. How can you make it? We can make it so it's not out of pocket. If you have assets that you own free and clear or with a low balance, well, we can pull cash out of those. And with that, you just pay it off, own the real estate after you pay it off. You're pledging something you already own. If you're pledging equipment that you already own free and clear, that would be called a sale lease back. Sale lease back. A leasing company that we take care of and represent buys the equipment from you, takes title to it, they own it. You keep it and make money with it, continue your business operations, make the monthly payment, and then you own it again. You owned it once, you pledged it as an asset, you got the cash you needed, make the payments, take title to ownership again. So there's so many ways we can do it, but to really sum it up, um, it's available. Don't think it's not. If you got difficult credit and you've been declined by your bank, forget about them, wave them by, leave your deposits there, get a hold of us. You're approved with us. And simple as that, man. I can't make it any simpler. Gary, man, I got these three burning things I just want to say as far as branding. Can I throw it out there, please?
Try that, my friend.
Okay. Branding. Well, when I was a kid, now you guys didn't grow up in America, so I'm gonna you might not recognize this, but you just might recognize it. You guys remember the Chia Pet? Yeah, the Chia Pet. What is the Chia Pet? It's a hunk of plastic shaped as an animal. That's what it was originally, shaped as an animal. Chia.
Mm.
Too many people couldn't get that out of their head when they were going to sleep at night, probably when they were in the 70s and 80s. Chia, right? So that little jingle, I don't know, would they have been the same without the jingle? I don't know. We'll never know. But the jingle sure helped them. I remember it today. And Peter's smiling and he remembers as soon as I said it, he lit up. So that branded them right there. Do you guys know who Bob Ross is?
Yeah.
The painter?
Mhm.
Yeah. Bob Ross. I'm a kid. When I was a kid, we had 4 channels, 5 if you could tune the antenna. Well, in the afternoon, I'm being my grandma's watching me when I'm a kid, and you're flipping through channels. You see Bob Ross, probably the white guy with the best afro in the world, red afro. And he's like your mellow, excellent high school art teacher that everybody loves. That's who that guy is. And he's painting. He's like, put it over here and you do this. But do this if you want. You do what you want. Everybody knows who Bob Ross is, right? I don't think he's got the catchy jingle. They just know who he is because of his personality. And I'm sure the afro plays into it. But guess what? As I was thinking about this and, I Googled a few things. What exists? The Chia Pet Bob Ross. Brands are merging. All right. So those are like iconic things that became brands and they just stick in your head and they still live today.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
how about the Sham Wow guy? Sham Wowie, remember him? It's the every time you use it, you say wow. It's like a towel. Like I watched one of his videos while I was listening to you guys. There's so many there's so many brands that stick out. I I don't know.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. But one of the brands that really stand out is a jingle, and that's where everything I've just spoke about, comes in. Uh, because as you build that brand, you want to have a budgetary allocation for jingle and then to go into visibility. One of the things that I can remember, Paul, I know you're anxious to say something, but let me complete this thought. There's a jingle that we call Zestfully Clean. I don't know if you hear that. A Zestfully Clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. All right, that sticks. But just think about that. They didn't have the budgetary allocation to pump ads out there for that to become a memory. What would have happened to that brand? So there's so much out there. You can have a strong brand, but you want to ensure that you have budget to go visible and go hard with your visibility. Yeah, Paul, before I come across to Frank, you were going to say something else?
Oh, I'm not going to do it because you sang for the day. But when you said jingle, I was referring back to yesterday. It was like that popped fresh in my head. But
Okay.
another jingle is Calgon, Take Me Away. That was like 70s and 80s. I don't even know what Calgon was, but the commercial was some stressed out housewife and Calgon, Take Me Away, like dishwashing stuff. But yeah,
Mhm.
jingles really, really hit it. If you can, I can remember jingles from the 70s on commercial.
Okay. Yep. All right, Frank, your thoughts. We are going to start to wrap up like now, so I would love to hear your thoughts and then your closing remarks. Man, it's funny, as soon as we start to have some fun with these conversations, time just goes, yeah? Right.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Fun, you get it. Yeah. We got to find a way to become, the mad scientist who could pause time. Pause. Yeah, Frank, on to you.
All right, let me just get back into what we're talking about, the visionary leaders. They understand exactly how they want their brand to be perceived. And what they do is that they take steps to ensure that the brand is represented consistently throughout our channels and even at every point. A consistently strong brand, which is a brand strategy, creates powerful customer experience that engenders strong loyalty. It brings strong loyalty. And we have an example in Maxine Clark. She's a visionary leader of Build a Beer Workshop. It was really a retail toy outlet that creates a highly personalized experience for its customers, the young and the young at heart. And Clark's official title is Chief Executive Beer. And this was the beginning of the consistent branded experience that she brought to the company. Build a Beer is completely customer-centric organization. And this unique toy retail model allows customers to design their own stuffed toys and then watch the personalized toy made right in the store. The Build a Beer brand stands for whimsy, love, and magic of childhood. And every aspect of the company is designed around amplifying that brand story. What are its values and what it promises? And in addition to hiring employees and managers based on customer focused personality and the ability to see themselves through the eyes of a child, Build a Beer engages the young customers at every opportunity. When you look at the company website, it lets the children create virtual versions of themselves and their sub-creations, and they interact with other beer owners online. They provide each beer company with a barcode and a birth certificate so that lost beers can be returned to any store and matched with the owners. And that's how she built her brand. Now, distinctive brands will truly thrive. Standing head and shoulder above their competitors and visionary branded leadership typically is the secret catalyst in driving that brand's success. Um, Paul might remember Johnny Cupcakes. Uh, Johnny Cupcakes is a unique apparel company that sells branded t-shirts and more with a baking theme. And the company's ironic shirts are packaged in baking styles like frosting cans and donut boxes, and the stores displayed the merchandise on oven racks and baker's shelves with decorations like industrial mixers. The visionary concept of it is, though they're dealing with apparel, they're dealing with it in a bakery, which is very creative and innovative. Um, but the unique brand is highly successful with thousands of fans, some of which are dedicated and loyal enough to have tattoos of the Johnny Cupcake and Crossbones logo. Um, the Johnny Earl is a founder of that company, and he started Johnny Cupcake when he was in his early 20s. He committed himself fully to developing the distinctiveness of the brand, investing almost nothing in advertising in favor of creating an incomparable brand experience in retail locations. So he had, from the displays and shelving right down to the smells of the bakery, achieved with frosting, scented air freshener. What I'm saying here is that leaders have to be creative and have the ability to envision and visualize what how to establish the brand as a leader. When you look at Sir Richard Branson, he's highly conscious of the Virgin brand, and he treats it not just as a company, but as a lifestyle. Through every piece of brand messaging that bears Branson's name or participation, he repeatedly reinstates and lives with Virgin culture and core values. So he's ensuring a clear vision, he's ensuring a clear mission and direction that is equitable of a vast Virgin empire. So as a leader, you have the opportunity to exert a powerful influence in your brand from all the internal processes and details to external customer and stakeholders' perceptions and experiences.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. And Paul, I can see you send Frank into his historical arsenal of Brad. He
Yeah.
really went deep into the historical nature of Brandon. I like that, Frank. Frank always got you a number. Frank is good with history. I mean, the guy's just a couple of years older than me, right? But when he goes to history, he's make I feel old. Yeah, no, not old. He's make I feel like a baby.
Well, what I was thinking and what immediately came to mind, and it was is okay. I remember Build-A-Bear because I bought those for my daughter. But as far as Johnny Cupcake, my parents bought me GI Joe, not baby dolls, and they didn't let me pay with kitchen equipment. But
Got
yes,
you. Got you. All right. Before coming to Peter and then come back to Paul, I want to say a couple of things very quickly because again, we do these programs because we want to help businesses. And I'm going to tell you what we are seeing, what the research is showing us. Now, I'm going to give you 5 things that we have seen. One, millions of business startups do not have budgetary allocation for research. What? You don't have budgetary allocation for research? You got to fix that. Secondly, millions of business startups do not have budgetary allocation for brand innovation. You are seeing gaps in the market, but then there's no budgetary allocation to be the first person, the fastest person to innovate new brand. What? Problems there again. And guess what? We got the money for you, right? We have the monies for you. Paul is going to tell us about that just now. Third, millions of business startups do not have budgetary allocation for marketing and advertising content. What? Something going on there. You're going to fail. You don't have budget for that. The fourth one, millions of business startups do not have budgetary allocation for public relation. What? Something is wrong there too, right? And guess what? The monies are available. The last one I'm going to say here, Millions of business startups do not have budgetary allocation to hire the sales professional. Oh my God, sales professional. The right sales professional going to really help you to get out there and sell without having to actually sell, because they understand what we call the pull factors of sale. I'm not going to get in more, but follow us. I will say to you, follow us. We're going to be bringing some super programs to you down the road, and it's going to wow you, and it's there to accelerate your growth. Now, Paul, oh no, I got to come to Peter. Peter, on to you, my brother. Your closing thoughts on what we talk about here.
Yeah, definitely, Gary. And as you highlighted the various elements of what is essential, what is necessary for individuals to succeed in the business, in their business development, and particularly in their area of branding and making themselves known. How do they stamp their face, stamp their approval, stamp their identity, stamp the purpose and the mission for their products and services? A lot of individuals know that they're getting out there, but what they did not know is that there are certain requirements that are necessary for them to be to mark their place in the area of the problems that they're solving in the market. And with that being said, why that it is so is because a lot of times individuals just know that they are good at something, and they jump out, especially in the area of small businesses or micro business. They know that they're good at whatever it is that they do, and so they just enter the marketplace thinking that they're going to be successful that way, because they never took the time to create a plan. And this is why we want to encourage individuals to take the time out to streamline what you're doing, know where you're going, understand where you're coming from, and position yourself with an individual who is going to walk you through the various processes so that you can minimize or even eliminate the pitfalls and the mistakes that one can make as they venture out in the area of entrepreneurship and business. And so we're encouraging individuals to stick around, pay attention to what we're saying, because you're going to find it will give you a whole lot of education and help individuals to see themselves as they venture out into the beautiful world of entrepreneurship and business development.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter. I want to emphasize this. If you're in the US, 50 states, you have a business, you need money, my God, you don't have money challenge. I mean, what Paul can do for you in terms of access to capital, my company will do for you. We can put you in contact with people that will just fund your advertising campaign, your advertising budget, your marketing, your research. We have investors, we have funders that wants to, identify some clinical areas in your business, and they're going to give you money. All right. As Paul would have said, this is inventory that they have, and they want it off the shelf. All right. Money is their inventory, and they want to give you these monies for that money to go to work. And you need the money to get your business done. So why struggle to access capital when all you can do is reach out to us? You reach out to me, I'll put you in contact with Paul, because Paul is going to deal with the multi-million-dollar funds that you need. Or you come to me and I help you in, various type of debts. I want to encourage you to go to a platform that we did yesterday. And myself and Paul, we did a deep dive into growth capital. And you need to take the time as a rising star in business to understand financial instruments. You owe it to yourself. Now, if you don't know, or you don't have the time to invest in this, you have us. You have a number of experts here with us that understand finance, that understand business, that understand leadership, understand project management. We even have 5 persons who have represented top 500 companies that we can put you in contact with. So you have knowledge, you have experience, you have the know-how behind you. So why procrastinate? If you're a foreign national or want to set up business in the US, we can help you there. We're gonna get you registered with the Secretary of States. We're gonna get you your EIN number. We're gonna get you your PAYDEX score. We're gonna get you your 4411 listed. I know everything that I'm saying sounds foreign, but once you attempt to set up your business, if you're gonna set it up right, everything that I'm saying, you need it. You need it. And we're gonna set you up with all of that. And guess what? We're gonna put you to Paul now, as you want to grow big now, and he's going to help you get the money that you need. So, Paul, can you talk to us a little bit about the BFC? The BFC, and I'd love to have your closing remarks after that.
Okay. BFC stands for Business Finance Consultant. That's what I am, and that's what we want you to be. We want to train you full training, full support to put you in a position where you can offer financing to businesses. How many businesses do you are across America? A lot. How many business owners do you know in your family? Probably several. So everybody's a potential client for you. There's a client, you're driving down the road, you're looking to the left, you're looking to the right, you have potential clients. It's all over. What you will learn to do is to market yourself, market the services, contact customers, work with customers, and just be an expert in this field. People want to work with experts. We're going to turn you into an expert, but in that time frame that it takes to go from beginner to expert, how are we going to do this? Get the customer, set an appointment up, me and you, and I'm talking directly to you, whoever's listening to this, whoever wants to be a BFC, we will get on the appointment, the Zoom call or the phone call with the customer. You'll hear me explain the process, explain the product, the programs, help the customer, find the best solution for the customer, because that is our goal. Customer first. And how much money can you make? It's a high paying career. Let me put it like that. And if your average commission, because you're doing large deals, is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per deal, and that's what it is when you're doing $500,000 deals. I mean, if you do a $40,000 equipment lease, it's not going to be that, but it'll still be $800, right? So you can make a lot of money at this, and you owe that to yourself, and you owe that to your family. And let's do it together. That's Business Finance Consultants. Now, my closing remarks are, boy, I had them all lined up. Don't do this. Okay, yeah, there we go. Don't struggle. Snuggle. It's easier. Brand it. Get your branding down, and your business is going to increase tenfold. There's a whole level of difference. Today on this show, we're remembering products that were branded from the 70s. They stick. That's the type of traction that you need. That's a different level. If there's that one thing that you can do to set yourself apart, figure it out and do it. Get a professional, get a consultant to help you figure that out, or just figure it out. It might become apparent to you. I follow a lot of people on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Shay Rowbottom, she's a smart marketer, and she says, be yourself, be authentic, make authentic videos. You might be that difference maker. You might not need a jingle. Maybe you are the jingle. There's something that exists out there. It can be put into place. It needs to be put into place. And I guess that's what we're trying to provide for you today, that little magic ingredient that pushes you over the edge, because it exists. You just have to find out what it is and put it into effect. Oh, one more thing. Gary, you're always talking about you think you got dry humor. What? What? No, man, I think you're pretty funny. You got it going on today. You got it going
Well, I am mellowing with age. I'm trying to rub shoulder with Frank, and get some of that, age of experience going to I'm rubbing shoulder with the right people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend. I trust that we all had fun. I trust that the audience have had fun here today. The morning program, we try to keep it light, not intellectual, because we want to make it fun. We want learning to be fun, and we had a lot of fun today. Again, I want to just remind our audience, we are here. Is while we are having fun, it's not to play. It's to do business and to help you to do business. So if you're in the US, 50 states in the US, and you need capital, all right, you have a business, you need $500,000, a million US dollars, 5 million US dollars. You need money to go into real estate. You need money to innovate, in business. Let us be your first choice for many, many reasons. We're going to ensure that several things happen for you. One, you access the capital at highly competitive rates. All right. And two is that we work with you to understand your market. So when you're leveraging capital, you're not leveraging it into liability, but into assets. You need market intelligence to make that type of informed and educated decision. And most of all, we're going to come at the tail end and we're going to work with you on what we call the debt mitigation. With debt mitigation, oh my God, you can reduce the cost of capital by hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's the kind of expertise that we are bringing to you. All right. Paul is going to get you the money. He's going to get you lots of money. He's going to make sure that you're fundable. But the collective, we're going to help you to save money on that money that you're getting. We're going to work with you to leverage money in a smart way. All right. And really show you that, hey, you might have been leaving, not just the crumbs on the table, but perhaps, half of that cake on the table, and in business, you don't want to leave anything on the table. You're in business to make money. You're in business to add value. And once you're adding value and fixing problems, you deserve to get all the money that there is to get. And we're going to help you get it. So with that being said, I want to say goodbye to our audience. We'll do this again tomorrow. I want to say goodbye to my colleagues, Frank and Paul and Peter. Thanks for being here. You have been fun, and looking forward for another day. They say you have to say goodbye so we can say welcome again tomorrow. So, goodbye, my friend.